Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Broman Clash right here, and today I'm going to talk about, why do negative things, stupid things, or things in general that have like a negative impact get more views than positive things? Well, let me put it like this. A wise teacher once said this: you have to take care of your fruits of labor before you can revel in them. Well, maybe our wise teacher didn't say that, but maybe that wise teacher put it in another simpler terms. But what's that quote basically trying to say is this: see, look, good things don't come up overnight. Bad things, like people getting drunk, popping guns and all that shit, doing drugs, popping Molly, all that jive, man, all that stuff that people do may get, like maximum exposure just because it portrays a negative image. And just because it looks good doesn't necessarily mean it is good. Matter of fact, you know what they always say, too much of something is a bad thing. And if you notice, too much of negative exposure, you know, some of you may kick me for saying this, but like twerking, like smoking, popping guns, doing drugs. Well, that doesn't include smoking weed because weed comes from the earth. But like overdosing. That's what I'm trying to say. Some of you may say like, why you say weed is not a drug? I'm just like, let me put it like this. Opium's technically not a drug either because it grows from the earth. And then I got another question for you too. Why do they call prescription medicine drugs? That's kind of a contradiction in itself, isn't it? Uh, um, off of that, now onward to this. All this other stuff and how the way crap, all this stupid crap gets so much exposure, but yet when a man does some content onto another man, impart wisdom, showing, a bit of their side of life, and, just doing things that are just basically good. Yet, that gets less exposure. Let me tell you this: goodness and positivity get less exposure because it is powerful, too powerful, in fact. While negativity, though it may last a bit longer and it may be a bit stronger due to the exposure, but once it wears out like cinders with like ash. It's not going to come back. But positivity, it's like an internal flame. It will keep on burning, though you may not find it because it constantly moves. It moves from one place to another. You may not see it then, but if you do it yourself, then positivity will definitely find you. And don't worry, if you do positive things such as, helping people out, then you know what else too? That's also doing the right thing as well. So you have nothing to worry about. Yet it's kind of funny that, people always want to ask, how come there are no more good men? Or how come there are no more good women? Or how come there are no more good people in general? How come people can't take a joke? How come people can't take an opinion? Well, let me tell you something. You want to know why people can't do all that crap? Because that's the thing. They are individuals. And same thing with positivity. If you try to ask for it too much, it's not going to get to you in time. And on the funniest note, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, when I hear an ungrateful person ask, how come there's no more good things coming around here? Simple. Good things stop coming to you so you can learn discipline. That's right. The reason why good things don't come to you is because, you're not disciplined. But what about those who are poor, who don't have anything at all, but yet they still smile? How come they are around like all this chaos, but yet they can still find peace? Because you know why? Because the greatest good does not is not of material world. It's not of material wealth or worldly. It's otherworldly. It's ethereal, ephemeral. It's something that you cannot see, but you can feel. It's something that you cannot touch, but you can definitely understand. Because when it comes right down to emotion, once you do the right thing, you will do everything will just follow suit. But as soon as you beg, as soon as you expect the right thing to come to you, that's when bad things start happening. And it's kind of funny because good things are unexpected more than they are expected. And if you expect a good thing to happen, well then shit, you know what they're gonna say? Pour and pour. Be careful what you buy. Because once you get it, don't complain. Or if you can find a good situation out of it, then shit. You managed to look at the bright side of things. And that's positive in itself. And also another thing too, as long as you're helping people, as long as you're doing good, as long as you are not robbing, raping, and breaking any laws, unless they are unjust laws, then you're okay. But here's the thing, about being a good person. It's not about what other people tell you what to do. It's not about what society tells you what to do. It's about what you do, what's in your heart, what's really good for you. Because as soon as society tells you what to do, as soon as society tells you how to act, society tells you how to feel, you're not you. You're just a clone. You're processed meat. You're just processed meat who happens to still live, who happens to have a label on it, all because of what society says. Now, let me tell you something. I don't care if this video doesn't, get shown a lot. I don't care. As long as it reaches the few people that truly understand what the hell I'm trying to say, that's good enough. And the wise words from a man or a woman or any other person that lived this, they said, when good people do nothing, that's evil enough. And this is a quote from Dr. King. Injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. And just like Malcolm X. And Malcolm X said this, even though you may say, how does this tie in with, good doing good? And how does this tie in with evil getting maximum exposure? Simple. This is what he said. We are nonviolent with those who are nonviolent with us. Well, take it to a context of life. If you are peaceful, then peace will come back. If you are good, then good will come back. It may not come at that instant, like bass heads on the pipe, whoo, getting their blast, wondering like, where's the fire? I can't feel anything. Ooh, I feel tingly. I need to get more pipe. Do you have it, baby? No. That's the thing. If you do things that are good, then good things will come back. Sure, you may have your moments where things are not necessarily good, and it fucks you over sometimes for the rest of your life, or you may lose people because they couldn't handle you at that moment or understand you at that moment. But when you keep on pushing forward, when you keep on doing the right thing because your heart tells you to do it, not because of what society tells you, not because of what some higher up told you, because as soon as you feel control of yourself, or either that, because if you control yourself, if you understand yourself, then you're better off. Either that, or you're just going to be controlled by someone else. Now, my question is this. How does this tie in, with why does negativity get more exposure than good things? Like I said, negativity is just like people on the pipe. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just a high, man. And in case you were wondering, no, I don't do any drugs. I'm okay. That's the thing. I'm not a drug addict. I just happen to watch a lot of New Jack City. And then, that's just it. You just gotta constantly do it in order to feel that high again. It's just like fame. You feel it once, you feel good. But after a while, it gets stale to the point it feels like pressure. That's not, if it's meant to pressure you, not to progress you, then it's not really worth it. But if you understand that, hey, in order to go through, you gotta enjoy it a bit and progress. I say progression before pleasure because some people party so much, do all kinds of shit, and then they want to know why is everything so stale. Simple. Because if you you know what Albert Einstein's definition of insanity is? If you constantly do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, then you are insane. And it's quite funny because that's why negativity gets more exposure as well. Because people are insane. They're not sane. They don't try to look for the truth. They're just so used to comfort. That's the thing. I know I used to be the same way too. But at the same time, I know how to change. I just say, you know what, man? Fuck this. I'm not even gonna try it. Because you know why? Because I stayed away from that shit. Friends that say, you know what, they Kim, you're doing the right thing. Keep on going. Those are the type of people you need to hang around with, not those that will say, oh, come on, man. You need to have a little bit more fun. Yo, smoke this joint. Yo, drink this booze. Shit. I just don't smoke in general. That's why I say, you know what, man, that's cool. And I don't drink neither because, what's the point? It doesn't exactly help your state of mind, it deteriorates it. Well, except for, Mary Jane, what I said before, it does deliver you to a higher consciousness. Don't worry, I don't do it. But you do get some wise conversations from weed heads, trust me. Because they deliver a different perspective. And sorry for that brief intermission. But, when it comes right down to it, and especially when it comes right down to understanding perspectives, that's the reason why positivity gets lesser exposure, because it's not always shown, but it's always felt. Hence why when people look at you and say, you are a kind young man, and you just say, how do you know that? Matter of fact, how do you know that I'm kind? I didn't even say 2 words to you. And then they say, I can feel it. You have a kindness in your eyes and your heart. And you just be like, oh, shit. And then, that's the greatest feeling, knowing the fact that your intentions don't have to be said, but more felt. And it's rather funny because, when you look at people who look good, but they're not good for your mind, you realize that their intentions are not pure. They try to portray it like a false image, but yet it's not going to benefit you in any kind of way. And then once it comes right down to it, what's the point? What's the point of trying to fall into negative stereotypes if it's just going to give you maximum exposure? There is a trade-off. Whatever you say and do that's positive, it will be marked off. It will not be seen. It will not even be felt because they think it's a little charade. But if you constantly do the right thing because you choose to, then you don't need to say I'm a good person. You just do it because you know it's right. And some people have the nerve to say I'm a good person, but yet when it comes right down time to actually say something or, express themselves in the full, they're scared. And you're just wondering, like, why are you scared? And they say, I don't know how to express myself. I'm just like, so then why the hell are you getting angry at those who do? Seriously. It's so stupid, man. And it's really sad because it just shows off a problem. And how the way we don't really trust in ourselves. And it gets really funny and almost ironic when the very same people who claim to be good people or the very same people who rather expose bad people end up having to fire on them because they can't handle themselves. Now, when push comes to shove, I hope you know how to push, because I know how to rumble. And another thing too, good people are not submissive. That's one thing that needs to be cleared the fuck up. Because I hate the fact that in order to be a good person, you have to be submissive. Good people do not stand down. Just like that old quote once said, if good people do nothing, that's evil enough. That says something right there. If you do nothing while evil is there, you very much take a part of it just by doing nothing when evil is prevalent. And it's just so ironic that people would rather judge other people than to say, hey, look, let's knuckle down, let's stop evil, and let's just quit it in general. And then the real funny part, when I really look at it, I see this and I say, wow, how can you say that? How can you say that, good people do not exist when you don't even go out and search? You're so stuck in your own comfort zone that you are afraid to look out and say, oh, there are good people out there. Sometimes the good person don't need to start with other people, it starts with you. Because I know for a fact I'm a good person. Because even though I said it in an ironic sense, but the reason why I say it is because I made people happy. I'm not even going to lie. I know that's bragging, but I say that because it's true. Little things that you do, little things, such as a hello, or, helping people out, that goes a long way. Sure, you may not get, like, the immediate respect like you see on TV, and besides, TV's bullshit, so fuck it. But remember, just do good. Remember, your morals come first. Your beliefs make you as well. But one thing that overcomes all of them is individuality. And when you understand individualism, then cooperation will almost come at an instant. Because you learn to see the similarities but respect the differences. And that's where positivity comes in. Understanding. Negativity is filled with egotism. And with that, YouTube, I say, yo, this is Broman Clash. Hope y'all stay up. Hope y'all do good. And if y'all like, y'all can share this video, like it, or if you want to, you can subscribe to me. That's your choice. And as I always say, out one at one, and I hope y'all have a great time. Later.